All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Yin and Yang podcast. My name is Anthony, and with me is my friend Reggie.
Hello, everyone. We're here to talk about the top 25 games of this week. It's week 6. We've missed a couple because life decided to happen. You know, it happens. I'm very sad, but it's okay.
Yep, we're just going to jump straight in to the first game on Saturday at 11 a.m. We got number 1 Alabama at Arkansas.
You know, Arkansas. We made Arkansas A&M made Arkansas look a lot better than I think Arkansas actually is, and Alabama should steamroll them by like 40.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for sure gonna happen. Alabama doesn't play around. Arkansas isn't that great this year, and it should be a cakewalk. Tua definitely not gonna play more than 2 quarters. I don't think
What a
I don't
luxury!
think,
What a luxury!
what
to
a
have
luxury,
your,
right?
Your starting quarterback not play more than 2 quarters a game.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah, should be another practice game for Alabama.
I know.
And Arkansas fans, hold out hope. I think Chad Morris is gonna do good things, but you don't have the players right now to fit your scheme, and it's just not gonna work. So
no, but I mean nobody. I don't think anybody's gonna beat Alabama.
yeah,
Realistically, don't think anybody's gonna beat them. So
yeah.
it's all right. All right, next game also at 11 a.m. on Saturday. One of the old classics, Texas at Oklahoma, Battle of the Red River.
Okay, so no matter what whatever the ranks are, whatever you think, oh, Oklahoma is much better than Texas, throw that out. This game will most likely be a toss up. It doesn't matter how good or bad these teams are. This is going to be a close one, and Texas and Oklahoma fans, you're going to have a fun one out there. I think so. What do you think, Anthony?
I think that this is just going to be a close game. The Longhorns have looked good the past 2 weeks. They beat TCU.
Good
They
team.
beat USC. I really thought TCU was going to play better than what they did against Texas, but this should be an interesting game. I think Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. I don't really understand the Heisman hype for him, though. I think that he is exceptional, but I just don't think. I don't know. I could see Texas winning this game, but I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to.
I think it comes down to the fourth quarter. Whoever has the ball last wins.
Yeah.
Texas has really proven that they're starting to get something going. No one really knows what they're doing on offensively. Like, I can't really tell if they're a pass or run team, but
Right.
they're winning their games, and
They are
their defense is.
stepping it up.
So honestly, take it back.
Take it back.
What the identity of Texas is to win behind its defense and to not make mistakes on its offense. That's how they win, to me.
Okay.
And it's a simple formula.
Fair.
And so Oklahoma's been doing what it usually does, which is scoring points, and their defense has been decent enough to help them win the game. They looked kind of weird against Army, though. That triple option kind of hit them, didn't it?
Yeah. No, I agree.
But I mean, Army's real scrappy, so it's not like
right.
Army was pretty good last year. So it's not like Oklahoma is like, oh, it's a letdown spot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just going to be a good game between two top 25 teams. This is also deciding factor towards who's going to be playing the Big 12 championship. Like,
Yes.
obviously. But whoever wins, to me, is in the driver's seat with West Virginia on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the Big 12 from West Virginia, Texas, and Oklahoma are the top 3 for me, and then the rest is just, I don't know. It's kind of
Right.
hard. It's hard.
I just think Texas is going to have to be there offensively to keep up with OU, and I think they're going to have to be there defensively to hold OU, because OU is capable of dropping 40 or 50 onto Texas. I think so.
I think it falls on both. I think so, since Texas' offense to me isn't like amazing, but it's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
I think it falls on the defenses. Like, if OU's defense is weak, then you have Texas staying in the game.
Yeah.
But if Texas's defense steps up, then you have Texas playing this low-scoring game.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that's the way that they're gonna have to do things to win the game.
Yeah. All right. You want to move on to the next one?
Yep. Let's do it. Third game. Oh boy.
It's Kansas versus West Virginia. I want to point out that I'm actually I don't know what's going on in Kansas, but they did get that really big win against Rutgers, and I don't know we talked about that.
No, we didn't.
But I'm glad that Kansas got that win. Their fans, they're the funniest people in RCFB by far, and just because they're just so indifferent about everything. But I hope Kansas points in the right direction soon. But West Virginia's gonna stomp. They can't stop that passing attack. Wigger's gonna have a career day.
Oh yeah. I agree. Kansas is 2-3. They're 0-2 in the Big 12 as expected, but they are 2-3. Let me see here. So they beat Central. It looks like Central Michigan and Rutgers is who they beat, and by a large margin, might I add.
Yeah.
That's pretty great, man.
Rutgers is not looking good. I don't want to make it about them, but there's something in the water up there with Rutgers.
And it's not good. Whatever's in the water, it's not good.
It's not good.
Yep. But, nope. It's just, my goodness. West Virginia scores 530 yards of total offense a game. That's disgusting.
They're good.
Yeah,
passing attack
passing
attack is good.
My goodness. Yeah, throwing for 372 yards a game. Yeah, no, West Virginia's going to have a field day. It's not going to be fun for Kansas. My goodness, he's thrown 1,500 yards in 4 games, dude.
He's good.
1,500 yards in 4 games.
But
that's like 400 yards almost. That's wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Let's move on to the next one because I think we already made our points on that one.
Yeah. All right. So, Maryland at number 15, Michigan. All right. Got any thoughts for me, Reggie?
So, Maryland is a very interesting team to me. They're a very high and low team. It's like if they're playing their highest highs, they can stick it out with anyone, as they proved in Texas. And then last week by dominating the last team they played, but then they'll just blow it against teams like Temple. So it's like, what is up with Maryland really? So if you look at their schedule, the past 5 games, look at it. It's just weird losses, weird losses.
Yep.
The loss to Temple is very odd to me because it sticks out because
and it was at home. It was at home too. Which is confusing.
Then they went on the next game to dominate Minnesota, so it's not like they can't play. It's just they're so hot and cold that you don't know what team's going to come out.
They need to be disciplined to win that kind of game. They beat Texas. Bowling Green, that's not anything. Beating Bowling Green is not anything special, sorry. But I just think if they play disciplined football, they can be a decent team. Is that going to help them beat Michigan? I don't think so. Michigan is the best team that they have played thus far.
So I know people have 2 televisions going with 2 different games.
Yeah.
This might be the game you want to put on when it's the 3rd and 4th quarter. And you're like, oh, Maryland's beating Michigan by 3 points. Might want to go watch this one. I think this is one of those games.
Okay, if that happens, I'll turn it on.
You should.
If that happens, I'll turn it on. But
don't be surprised if that's happening.
Well, I'm not going to be surprised because it's Michigan. I'm sorry.
I still think it's more that Maryland's just a good team by that time.
I think as long as they play disciplined football, they could do that.
But
You gotta play disciplined football.
so do you think Michigan how much better do you think Michigan is points total?
Then Maryland.
hmm
Um,
if you would have to guess the score, or Michigan wins by how many?
to me, Michigan wins by 14.
I think the spread is too much. I would go by 10. I don't really.
The spread is 17 and a half. Okay.
I don't think Michigan is. I don't think Michigan will win by 17 points.
I think Michigan is going to win this solely because of their defense.
I mean, their offense is better than it was last year.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just not like they can't put up points. It's just not
No.
really pretty.
Yeah. It's inconsistent. I mean, just last week they barely escaped Northwestern's grasp, and they only put up 20 points.
True.
But then guess what? The week before that, they played Nebraska and dropped almost 60. So what Michigan are we gonna get on Saturday?
Maybe it's
tomorrow?
it's like the tale of two teams. What team will you get from both of these teams?
Honestly, yeah. What team are we gonna see come to play for Maryland and Michigan? Upset alert potential, but obviously you would have to see the better side of Maryland and the worst side of Michigan that game to make it close. Because in my mind, if Northwestern can do it, so can Maryland.
Yeah.
Fair?
I actually think Maryland has a way better chance. I think Maryland's
Yeah, I mean
Maryland
Northwestern is
a
1
better
and
team.
3.
But yeah, it was weird. I thought Northwestern would be better this year. Transition into the next game, which is Northwestern versus Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Northwestern would be better this year. They
Man.
came off with these a straight 9 wins from last season. Started off 1-0, and they were ranked, I believe. And then they just kind of dropped off. It's been very interesting.
Yep. Let me take a look at this. So, man, if this game between Northwestern and number 20 Michigan State, if this game was in Northwestern, my golly, you don't know how badly I want to pick Northwestern to win
I think
this game.
I think this mostly has to do with what Michigan State has produced in the last 4 or 5 games, because Michigan State can't score. To me, looking at their past games, they can't score.
Yeah, they 250 yards of passing per game. That's, to me 300 is good.
Yeah.
300's a good amount.
But I mean, it depends on what type of team you want.
Yeah, and I think, man, both of these quarterbacks, very similar numbers coming out from these quarterbacks. Almost 1,000 yards passing for each of these quarterbacks, and then on the Northwestern side, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for Thorson, and on the Michigan State side for Lewerk, you got 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Quarterback's got to step. Which quarterback is going to step up for this game? Both of them? None of them? Will it be a terrible game and we have to watch them run the ball all the time with these running backs that are not that great?
Typical Big Ten game. It's gonna be 7-10 at third quarter. And
yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I really think so.
I think this Michigan State team is capable of losing to Northwestern. I also think that Northwestern could just not show up at all because Michigan State is at home. They are at home. I'm giving this game to Michigan State. My goodness, 20. I guess I'd put Michigan State at 20 because they're a good football team. They just, I don't know.
They're doing that thing where Michigan State wins games really ugly, and you're like, are they good? And you're really confused.
Yeah, you are because they get the win, but it's an ugly win.
But they are still winning, and that's all that matters in the end. Getting
That's
those
true.
wins in the win column.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Moving on. Next game, we have Boston College at number 23, NC State. I did not know that NC State made it into the rankings now. Look at them. 4-0. NC State is 4-0. Wolfpack.
This is going to be a good game.
I think so. I really do. Oh, man. Battle of the bruiser offenses in the let me give up a lot of points on the defense. Man.
I'm unsure. Like,
Yeah, the line,
think-
the spread is 6. 6 points. That's crazy. This is this is great.
I think I'm gonna pick NC State 37-31 game. I don't know how they're gonna get to those totals, but I think NC State I think they're a little better than people give them credit for, and I think Boston College is also pretty good. It's just one of those games where you're like, wow, this is a underrated game of this week. Definitely, definitely going to be flying under people's radar because of the two teams that are playing. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. This is going to be a good game. Man, I honestly think NC State has a huge advantage just being the home team.
So you're gonna.
I think in this game I'm just gonna whatever team is the home team I'm gonna roll with.
So do you think you're gonna like similar score as what I picked or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's gonna be one of those games where it's just like close and it's like, wow, that's a nice game.
This is the thing I like about football, or college football specifically. These two teams, while Boston College is not ranked and NC State is, barely ranked inside the top 25, we can still have this discussion of how good of a game this is going to be. Even if it's not, like Alabama versus Georgia, we can still have this conversation where good games, no matter what the skill level of the teams are, it's going to be a good game, and it's going to be fun to watch either way.
It's just going to be an exciting. I think it's going to be an exciting game for both teams.
Mm-hmm. Both teams are really going to want to win this game.
Definitely puts you on the path of what bowl you want.
Right. Yeah.
Both these teams, they'll probably they have the potential to top out around nine wins and get a decent bowl. So this is one of those games where it's like it separates what bowl you want to be, because I think both teams are going to make a bowl, but like which one makes the better bowl, plays better teams, has a more entertaining bowl,
Yeah. Good game. I'm excited. All right. Next up, we have number 4, Clemson at Wake Forest. Man, if Wake Forest was a better team, I'd be like, give them the W. But they're not.
Is Trevor Lawrence playing in this game? I knew he got hurt in the last one.
Let me see.
That's to me is one of the more deciding factors of how close this game will be. But
let me see. I don't know. It doesn't really say anything.
When I was researching it, I think he's coming back. I think it was only a neck injury. I thought it looked worse.
It was like a neck strain. It looked worse.
But I think he's playing, which I think the game is then. Yeah, I think Clemson runs away with it, 37-17 type of game.
Mm-hmm.
But Clemson has looked a lot weaker, a lot more beatable since they've played A&M.
Yeah, no, I think Clemson is susceptible.
I don't know if they'll make the playoffs this year. Actually, I at the start of the year I was like, yeah, they'll probably make the playoffs with what the team they have. But right now, Clemson is. They're looking just beatable. They had the scare with Syracuse. They had the scare with A&M. So.
Yeah, I think Wake Forest loses this game specifically because of its defense. Its defense doesn't really do a good job of stopping anything.
Yeah.
They give up, I'm going to say, almost 300 yards passing and almost 200 yards rushing. They give up a lot of points, and that is going to be their downfall. They can score. I mean, if you look at these numbers, they have basically the exact same yards passing and yards rushing, which I think that helps you beat a team like Clemson. Mix it up. You're good. You're not great at either, but you're good at both.
Well, one way we saw that to beat Clemson is that you have a quarterback that's athletic. Mm-hmm. Both Syracuse and A&M have an athletic quarterback.
Right.
And Eric Dungy and Kellen Mond. So it helps where your quarterback can work under pressure because the D line is still the best D line in college football.
Correct.
So will Wake Forest have that? I'm unsure, but I still think that Clemson runs away with it and beats them by like 17, 20 points.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think just Wake Forest doesn't have the defense to keep up. Clemson does.
I don't think they have the athlete as in
the athleticism
in the quarterback position.
in the quarterback position. All right, I agree with you, man. I'm just waiting for the day that Clemson loses a game this year, because I mean I think it's coming.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to go 12-0.
Oh, it is
in college football.
Yeah,
and I think Alabama and maybe Georgia and Ohio State are the only three that I can think that will be going that direction. And Ohio State has the least chance because I think they play the most quality opponents back to back to back. Because Ohio State they already got through Penn State. Now they have to go through Michigan State. And then it's like the Big Ten East is a gauntlet.
Yep.
It's more of a gauntlet to me than the SEC if you're a top dog, because there are other teams that are like that. The SEC West is like similar because you got LSU, you got Auburn, but I still think that it's just Alabama is so far away from those teams that I would still pick Alabama over Ohio State to go 12-0. I don't know. It's hard to tell what those. The Big Ten East and the SEC West have some dogs in it. This is what I'm trying to say. It's like,
yeah, I mean the SEC in general has some dogs. Georgia, and apparently Kentucky. We'll get there.
Oh yeah,
we'll get there.
Shout outs to Kentucky for being good this year, because Benny Snell is the truth.
All right, next we got number 5 LSU, at number 22 Florida.
This says a lot about both teams to me.
Yeah. Is this a defensive gauntlet coming up? I think so. I think so. Yeah, look at that. Points allowed per game. Florida 14, LSU 15. Man.
And that's LSU with both Auburn and Miami in it.
Uh-huh.
LSU.
Man, LSU could lose this game just because their defense is how they win games. I am not a Burrow believer.
I think.
Look at that completion percentage. It's not even that great either. It's like 55.
Man,
I'm not a believer in Felipe Franks either. Don't get me wrong.
So, like, if I had to compare the teams just by defense alone, I'd probably put LSU's above Florida. Florida has a good defense, but I think LSU has played better opponents, and they've had better results against the offenses that they've played.
Yeah, they've played Miami, they've played Auburn, and they've played Ole Miss. Florida beat Mississippi State.
I do.
Whatever.
But like we were talking about before earlier, Mississippi State isn't looking like an offensive juggernaut. It's not like they're gonna score 40 points on you like they should, or like it was projected their offense was gonna be amazing or something like that. And right now they're underperforming, so it's kind of like Florida has had games where they've played teams that to me are just weaker offensively than LSU. So I think LSU's defense has proven a little bit more.
Yep.
And so if I would go based off defense, I would pick LSU.
Yeah.
And then I think Joe Burrow is a decent to good game manager, which is what LSU was looking for.
Yeah.
And so they can just lean on the run and then occasionally get that, those passes that you need from Joe Burrow. Whereas Felipe Franks, I'm unsure of how good he'll be with the pass rush that LSU will be giving to him and how great their secondary is. And he hasn't been bad. It's just, I don't really know.
Yeah. No, these,
like looking at his stats, he's been fine.
I mean, last year he was horrible.
Yeah, but new year.
New year, new me. Yeah, I say LSU wins this sheerly because I think they're just. It ain't gonna be a high scoring game. It might be like
It wouldn't be surprising.
20-17.
Wouldn't,
or 24-17.
yeah, I was gonna say 21-16.
I don't think a team's getting to 30. I mean, if a team does get to 30, it's LSU, and it's going to be like 30-21.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It was like 30-15, 30-17.
Yeah, no. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me about that either. Good game, though. This should be a good game. Next, we have Florida State at Miami. Number 17, Miami.
So my Florida State is starting to get something going, like momentum with the win against Louisville. You know, putting more points on the board than just 20. So it wouldn't surprise me if Florida State, you know, so shocks the world and beats Miami, but most likely Miami winning by about 10 points. Let's look at the spread real quick.
Spread is 13.5.
Yeah,
toward Miami.
I think Miami wins by 10.
Yeah.
They're just Florida State. Just it's not their year.
No.
They need another year to just get something rolling. Them, Nebraska, UCLA, they get like an identity as a team really going, so they can actually start doing stuff that they need to. Because Florida State right now is not in shambles as it was, but it's still not like solid at all to me.
Yep.
There's a lot to be desired from that team.
I agree. I don't feel like I need to add anything more to this. You see this matchup every year.
And it's always kind of funky.
Yeah, it's always kind of funky. I agree. All right. We have next game, Iowa State at number 25, Oklahoma State. Ooh. Oklahoma State decided to get smacked across the face by a Texas Tech team. That kind of scares me.
Well,
we might talk about them later. Man, yeah, they just got smacked across the face by Texas Tech.
Whew. Their Oklahoma State is weird, man. I remember thinking it's Boise State. They were like, oh wow, they got a good defense, and then Texas Tech had an offensive showing against them, and then Kansas State dropped 28 points on them. So it's kind of like, where is it? Where is this decent defense? I'm unsure.
The defense is not there, and the offense is where it is at.
Yeah.
For Oklahoma State, that is where it's at. 550 total yards per game of offense. Look at those big boy numbers you're putting up, and look at those 300 yards of total offense that Iowa State has to give. My goodness, man.
And if Iowa State has proven anything, is that they are scrappy, and they will do anything to win the game.
Yeah, they give up over 300 yards, which, you know, it's okay, but
look at the teams
not.
they're playing.
Look at the teams they're playing, and they haven't given up these big numbers. TCU scored 17. Oklahoma, one of the best offenses in football, only got 37 on these guys.
Yeah.
Only got 37.
And it was a 10-point game against Oklahoma.
A 10-point game.
And it was only a 3-point game against TCU.
They are scrappy, and they're gonna try and claw their way to a. I mean, that's so interesting how a team can just be so scrappy, but then just lose. Granted, Oklahoma, TCU, great teams, great teams. Two of their three losses, great teams.
I mean, like
Iowa not so much, but
Iowa's a good team. They're a decent team. They're not like awful. I would put them in like top 40. Like Iowa State is losing to good teams, and
fair.
And yes, you want to have these wins, but like Iowa State is better than what their record shows. Like walking up to Iowa State, it's like walking up to like the small kid, expecting to win, and then he just like slams you in the face. So.
So this comment right here says that Oklahoma State is 2-4 in their last 6 home conference games.
Interesting stat. I don't know if it will affect anything. So, but I don't know. I really think this is a squeaky game. I think Oklahoma State wins by 3. Another
By 3, I think
another-
Oklahoma State wins by like 14 or 17.
Oh, so you think it's gonna be a much bigger spread?
Yeah, I
do
think.
you think
Let me see what the
do you
line
think
is.
Iowa State
9.
loses? Do you think Iowa State loses because of itself, or Oklahoma State asserts its dominance?
I don't think Oklahoma State is going to assert any. I think they're going to assert enough to just win the game.
So do you think Iowa State will make mistakes like fumbles, missed tackles, big plays and stuff like that?
I just think
Like-
their
like-
offense ain't going to get it going when they need to.
Yeah, like no big plays that you need to win against
Right.
games like this.
Mm-hmm. And it's at Oklahoma State. Lots of pressure. It's tough environment for Iowa State. Next, we have Indiana at Ohio State. Ohio State. Love that team.
Indiana they're 4-1. They're like quietly 4-1.
Who did they lose to? I forgot. They lost to somebody they should have. Yeah, Michigan State. They've played
Not really.
They've played Florida International, Virginia, Ball State, and Rutgers, and barely beat Rutgers.
I mean, just thinking about what Indiana wants, I think they're in the right position because Indiana's goal is to make a bowl game, and they're showing that they can win games they should, and then they'll lose games that they should. This is a game where they should lose.
Yeah,
and
they're
probably
going to lose.
by
I think they're going to lose.
moral victories are weird, but like if you keep it close to like 20, that's a good game to use for the Hoosiers to me.
I don't think they have the offensive capabilities to keep up with Ohio State. I actually think Indiana's defense isn't that bad. Granted, the teams that they've played are not that great of teams. I don't even think Michigan State doesn't put up record numbers, but I think that Indiana's defense isn't too bad. The spread is 27 in favor of Ohio State. I think that's just about right.
Yeah.
I think that's just about right. It's at Ohio State. Ohio State and Dwayne Haskins are just gonna. My goodness, he's almost at 20 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Just putting up the numbers. Yeah. He's a
their quarterback though, Indiana, Ramsey, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So a little sloppy, maybe not.
We'll see.
But
it's one of those games where you're just kind of like you're flicking through, and then you see that Ohio State is doing Ohio State things.
Right, beating Indiana. Yeah. Yep. All right. Next. Oh my gosh, Arizona State at number 21. Colorado.
For her.
Oh my goodness. Colorado is ranked?
Bro, they're undefeated right now.
Oh, the spread is going in favor of Herm by 2.
For Herm.
Oh no, sorry. The spread is in favor of Colorado. I'm sorry.
But the win prediction is
going in favor of Herm, and you know what? We gotta give it to Herm.
Are you gonna go to give it to Herm?
We gotta give it to Herm.
Firm for Herm.
I'm firm for Herm.
What makes you firm for Herm?
What makes me firm for Herm? I think it's just because I have not watched the Colorado Buffaloes play. And is that how you spell Buffaloes? With an E? That's interesting. Yeah. Besides the point. Let me see. Okay, so what in the world? So they beat Colorado State, Nebraska. I don't even know who UNH is. I'm sorry. And then UCLA. UCLA is one of the biggest letdown teams this year.
Well, they weren't that great last year.
I
mean,
mean,
a new coach and Chip Kelly.
But that was supposed to be better for them.
But you need to take into account that you need this year 0.
I'm pretty sure they have. I thought I read a stat somewhere that UCLA has never gone 0-4 in a long time
since 1971.
Something like that. That's a big stat.
You're gonna just have like to me, it's like you give a coach year zero. Nebraska with Scott Frost, they haven't won a game, but yet you got to give them a year zero to put their players in, and they get their identity in.
I definitely can see Arizona State running in there and upsetting them, mainly because Arizona State has played good teams.
And
They've
pretty
played
well.
Michigan State, San Diego State, and Washington, and they've played them hard.
San Diego State's a weird one. San Diego State, it's a loss that's like, it's Washington and Washington State. Oh, repeat that. Washington.
Washington, yeah.
That's a good loss. Like it's 27-20.
Michigan State, good loss, I think.
They won.
Oh, they.
You remember I called that game?
Oh my goodness, I did. Okay, they beat Michigan State. Correction.
So they
Man,
They definitely
they have the experience.
Move this one.
Good game right here. Good game right here, folks. I think Arizona State is going to march in there and do what they do and beat teams. They're going to beat Colorado.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take Colorado in three.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go against firm for this week. But would not surprise me if it was like a coin flip, basically. Like you come into the game, coin flip, and then whoever wins by 3 is whatever it is.
Okay. Ooh, I'm excited for that one. All right. Next, we have SMU at number 12, UCF.
UCF should smack that.
Yeah, SMU is never that great.
Not since what, early 2000s,
Yeah,
like 90s.
Yeah, exactly, when they were really good. Yeah. Look at this. UCF, almost 600 yards of offense per game. That makes me want to cry.
I mean, I'm happy for the fans of UCF, though.
Oh, yeah, but look at this. So, yeah, SMU's defense, look at that.
No, they're not very good.
No, they're not very good. And look at the people they've had to play. UNT, fair. Okay. All of these teams except for HBU. HBU put down 27 against them.
They took Navy to overtime and won, so it's not like
Yeah.
SMU's like.
Well, let's compare here. I think UCF is the best offensive team out of these 5 teams that they've played.
Oh, I think UCF should win by like 30. To be fair.
I mean, I think UCF is going to 50 point them, and it'll be like a 50 something to 20 something game.
UCF's offense is just great. Milton hasn't missed a beat, and their defense is good. Fine. They UCF should win by 30.
Yeah, I agree. What's the spread? They don't have a spread. Interesting.
Some of those spreads are wrong. It depends on
Okay.
what they think is going to happen.
Alrighty. Moving on. All right, my favorite game of the week. We have number 13 Kentucky at Texas A&M.
Of course, it's your favorite game of the week.
That's it.
Interesting. Did the spread move?
Huh? Did the spread move at all? 6 in favor of A&M.
So no. But I think a lot of people are underestimating Kentucky just because they're Kentucky. Kentucky has a really good run offense. And
Hey, I mean, if you look at A&M's Travion Williams, it's not that bad either.
I mean, Travion Williams is pretty good.
You give Travion Williams another 20 carries and ask him to get 50 yards off of 20 carries, he could probably have those same numbers. I'm not trying to discredit Snell at all, because I do think that if not the best, very near the top of SEC running backs, and that's saying something given the amount of talent the SEC has. So yeah, Kentucky, man. So this is how Kentucky wins. They have a decent offense with a decent defense.
But
And by decent offense, I mean they have 400 yards of offense a game.
So you look at them, and you think to myself, they're like this is an interesting balanced team where you like.
Yeah, they are. They're a very balanced team, I think, all around.
They're
all
not.
around.
They're not gonna win by passing.
No, they're not, and that's what A&M has to do. They need
Like,
to
they're gonna-
stop the run.
They're gonna
If they
dare
can
them to pass.
Yeah, if A&M can stop,
Which
what is his name? Blake Snell?
Benny?
Benny Snell? Okay.
Come on.
Hey, man. Forget sometimes. So, yeah.
But see, I was thinking about that because A&M's like biggest weakness is in their secondary. So it's like you think they might make a plan around that to make a more balanced offense towards that. But like,
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
I know that Kentucky can't really throw.
No, look at this. He's got... After almost 100 passes, he has like 600 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, like I know their passing attack is not good, but
no, look at that, 153.
Like,
yeah,
but that's what they got to take advantage of. So, do you think they make like a plan, or they just stick with what they're good at, or do they try to do like a balance? What do you think?
well, if I was Kentucky,
I give Ben Snell the ball every time.
I mean, here's the thing. I think it's hard. This is going to be a hard challenge for Kentucky because they like to rely on Snell to do the work. They like to rely on him to do the work for their offense. But I think if Kentucky wants to win this game, they are going to have to make big passing plays. And they need to work on that in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like the run pass option.
Yeah.
RPOs.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to have to work on. Because if A&M is able to stop Benny Snell,
You almost kind of look at them like, are they dead in the water? It's like you don't
because you can't just practice. You can't just give all these reps to Snell this week. You have to make sure that your quarterback is prepared. Because, I mean, A&M 80 yards of rushing allowed per game. This is after playing Alabama and Clemson. 80.
You have to throw it on us.
You're gonna have to.
Unless Benny Snell has like this Heisman moment, you have to throw it on us.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I'm giving this game to the Aggies. I think the Aggies are good enough. The only thing that I would see the Aggies not winning this is if Kellen Mond crumbles, kind of like he did at Arkansas. Kellen Mond can't play like he did at Arkansas and win this game.
No, Kentucky's too good. They will take advantage of those mistakes.
Yeah.
We lucked out against Arkansas with that, just because Arkansas right now is not that great of a team. But Kentucky is a bona fide good team right now. So if you make those mistakes, you are most likely.
Kentucky's defense is good enough to make Kellen Mond feel the pain.
Yeah. Josh, we kind of mentioned Josh Allen on their defensive end, one of their defensive ends or defensive tackles. I'm not sure. But yeah, he'll be bringing the pain. So, but I will have to admit that Mond does play way better at home.
He does.
Does play better at home.
And he has been doing that.
So, we'll see. All right, let's move on.
All right. Vanderbilt, at number 2, Georgia.
Georgia's been looking a little shaky lately. Not like, they might lose to Vanderbilt, but they might give Vanderbilt hope at some point in the game. Look at the scores from recently.
For Vandy?
No, Georgia. It's been
so 45-0, 41-17, 49-7, and then 43 to 29 for Missouri, and then 38 to 12.
Like, and watching those two games, it wasn't like Georgia was completely dominating them on all phases of the ball.
No.
Like, there's things that you can see are like not breaking down, but like things that might need to be ironed out if they want to continue the path they're on.
I kind of feel like this is going to be a similar game to Missouri, except.
Do you think Vanderbilt's that good?
Well, Do I think Vanderbilt's that good?
Like, do you think Vanderbilt will put up points on this Georgia defense?
Maybe not 29. Maybe like a 43-17.
Yeah.
I mean, Shermer's not that bad. He throws. He throws. He's decent. Man, their running back is not that good though. Wow.
It's one of those where you're like, I think Georgia will win by 20, but 25, but it's a sloppy game. More than 25, but sloppy game.
Well, I mean, and Vandy gives up a lot on defense. Yeah, they give up a lot.
Yeah, definitely one of those games where it's like Georgia's still trying to figure out what they want to completely do to teams.
Right.
Maybe.
Overall, Georgia will win handily. All right, next game, number 8, Auburn at Mississippi State.
Auburn did not look that great in the last game.
No, they did not. Neither did Mississippi State. Battle of who's gonna look worse.
Battle of the Who's fans will be sadder that day.
Right.
It's interesting because Auburn is ranked 8, but Auburn fans are always they're pessimistic. They kind of remind me of me when I talk about A&M, like just casually with others. Like, we win the game, but I'll still be sad sometimes.
I think Auburn will win this game just because, I mean, Auburn's either going to, this is going to sound like a really dumb statement. Auburn's going to either win this game or, like, get shocked.
Wow. Who would have thought?
I mean, I'm trying to put it into better words. Auburn is going to take advantage of how bad Mississippi State has looked, or Mississippi State's going to be like, hey, wake up.
So do you really think it's a shock to lose to Mississippi State? Like,
yes, at this point in time, yes. They're 3-2, 0-2 in the SEC. What do they got going for them right now?
I guess it's right, to be fair. Auburn.
They are 0-2 in the SEC. They have no motivation right now. Who is going to give them motivation to win this game?
I was thinking. Excuse me. I was thinking that the actual spread was too low. I thought Auburn should win.
I think this will be a fairly low-scoring game. Whew. I think Auburn wins this just because Auburn's a really good team. I think Auburn would have won this even if Mississippi State looked good.
Okay. I think you took that out. What I was thinking, basically.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We got a couple more games, like 4 more games for y'all. All right. Number 10, Washington at UCLA. One of the easiest games I'm going to be picking this week. Washington, good team. UCLA, bad team.
Therefore,
UCLA wins. No.
Washington should win handily.
Washington will win handily.
UCLA is in shambles right now.
The line is 21. Probably I was about to say if it's not higher, that's
the only reason that UCLA will cover is because Washington had like a terrible game to me.
Yeah.
Because UCLA has been blown up by some pretty mediocre teams.
Exactly.
So Washington should win handily. Let's move on to the next one.
Yep. All right. Next, 0-4 Nebraska takes on number 16 Wisconsin. Nebraska.
Is Nebraska gonna actually shock the world?
No, they're not. Jonathan Taylor is a stud muffin. Look at that. He is, dude. Look at that. 102 carries for 628 yards.
See, Nebraska's in the same boat as UCLA.
Yeah.
They're in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
And your fans are just gonna have to watch and wait until
it's in Wisconsin too. That's rough. These 2 games that we just talked about, y'all, those are rough for UCLA and Nebraska. Man, I'm surprised that they're only giving Wisconsin a 17.5 line, but I guess that's just because Wisconsin doesn't destroy anybody. They just kind of just make sure you don't score.
Like instead of an actual knock you out, they just push you into the dirt and hold you down until you just don't move anymore.
Mm-hmm. All right. One of the last two games here. We have number 6 Notre Dame at number 24 Virginia Tech. Notre Dame, I'm sorry for all of you fans that I upset in the last podcast that we did.
With those two views.
We were kind of talking some crap about Notre Dame not being top 10 worthy, and I think they're looking pretty top 10 worthy right now.
Wrong.
Yeah, they proved us wrong. They really did.
They proved us wrong.
They really, really did. Virginia Tech, I think, is a decent team. Even with that Old Dominion loss, I think they're a decent team. It was a fluke loss. I don't know what happened. Florida State, that win is not special to me anymore. I'm sorry. I am going to take that away from Virginia Tech. I don't think that's a special win. Duke that's a decent win for them, and then Oklahoma State is a decent win, but that was a long time ago, actually.
It was last year.
Okay, never mind. They haven't played 5. Okay, they haven't played 5 games, but I do think Virginia Tech, solid team. I think the Fighting Irish are gonna get it done. I do.
I do too.
I mean, look at that. They've only given up. They either give up like 17 or 16 points with that one fluke week.
Which they just scored.
Scored more. Yeah, exactly. Man, they beat the Ferd.
I think they found their quarterback in the Brook. Is his name?
Yes. Yeah. I think it's Ian Brook.
Book.
Ian Book.
And I'm glad that they did, because now they seem to have this identity on the team. Like, it's a lot more cohesion on how their offense and how they're going to play. So now they're just starting to let it loose and go, which I'm glad they found out. I know their Virginia Tech's quarterback got hurt, I believe.
Oh, you think Jackson did?
Yeah, I believe he got hurt.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
So that hurts their chances a little bit more.
It definitely does, I think. Ooh.
Fact check me if I'm wrong. I'll fact check myself.
Yeah, fact check yourself while I talk about some defensive stats for Virginia Tech. They give up a lot of passing yards. Virginia Tech's passing defense is really bad, but their rush defense is good. And now that Notre Dame has found their quarterback identity, I think that Book is going to have a good game.
Yep.
I really do.
Yeah, he fractures his fibula in the actual Old Dominion game, so
jeez,
Josh Jackson is out. So
yeah, I think that just makes it even harder on him.
I think so.
Yep. All right. And for the last match, we have Utah at number 14, Stanford.
So there's this saying in RCFB called Pac-12 After Dark. And this definitely could be an upset for Stanford. And Stanford, they're just offensively not as good as they could be, in my opinion. Like, KJ Costello, he's a better passer than they had last year, but Bryce Love is not putting up the numbers he had last time.
No, I mean, granted, he still is getting almost 5 yards a carry. Maybe not almost, like 4.7.
Yeah, but Bryce Love at one point was getting like 9 yards a carry.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember last year he had like 200 carries and like 900 something yards, and I was like, oh.
So, like, nowhere near, like, you're not getting the production that you got last year. And then their defense is good. But this game to me has what is written over as like a really sloppy game with a hilarious ending. Where like everyone's gonna be like Pac-12 After Dark after Utah wins on some botched punt. Don't at me on that one.
Jeez.
But definitely could see this game going to the Utes, and I think I'm gonna just outright pick the Utes. And a game of 21-24 Pac-12 After Dark game. What do you think?
It's a risky move. I'm going to give this to the Ferd, but barely. Giving it to the Ferd, but barely.
Barely?
Yep.
I don't know, man. I feel like
it's gonna be a game.
This game has Please don't touch me with money game. Like, don't bet on me.
Don't
Don't bet on me game.
Yep, I agree. That's a good game too.
It's-
Although a lot of games against Stanford are pretty good.
Stanford's an interesting team.
They are an interesting
They like to
team.
keep their
You
games
don't know what you're gonna get with the Ferg. You never know.
You never know.
Yep. All right, and I think that just about wraps up these week 6 picks. All right, so this podcast will be uploaded onto SoundCloud and YouTube here shortly, and make sure to follow our Twitter at Yin and Yang Podcast on Twitter. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.